sure. Okay. There we go. I just turned you down.
No, oh yeah, node and bar. Node, yeah. Button instead of node.
Apparently
Brilliant.
that's how we roll our dice.
Yes, so you should press that and it'll ask you how many dice you want to roll, and I'll explain that later. But maybe give it a test now.
What happens if you type in no, don't actually break it?
Magic. So that was 1 success. So a 5 or a 6 is a success. Right. So I've never played this game before, never GM'd it before. So this may or may not go very well. But the introductory mission is there to teach me as GM and you guys how to play as well. So
that's quite clever.
That's handy, yeah.
Yeah. So let's learn together. So this particular mission is called Your Security Clearance is Not High Enough for the Title of This Adventure.
Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, well, good game, everyone, and I'll talk to you next week.
See you later. We'll see you again next week.
This is great. Yeah, God.
That's the spirit. Should we begin?
All right.
Sure.
So,
hold on. No, actually, I need a character sheet.
oh yeah, get your character. So,
Yeah.
Alex, you are Leslie.
I sure am.
Judd, you are Norman, and Josh, you are Solomon.
Hello.
Stand back for weird noise. Right, thank you. My blinds.
You come to consciousness. You open your eyes, and although you know you've never been here before, you somehow know where it is. It's an infrared clearance, cloning, and briefing room for new citizens of the Alpha Complex. It's white. It's got white tiles. It's immaculately clean. It's a little bit chilly, and it's empty apart from the other people here. And a neat line of uniforms are hanging from the pegs along one wall, and security cameras for your security are positioned all over the room, filming you. There are other people here. Like you, they are slightly damp, rather confused, and very naked. Well, quite naked. Strategic locations on their bodies are hidden by a cloud of pixelization, so you realise, as you glance down at yours, you see nothing but pixels.
Oh, jeez.
Names float in the air above their heads. They are, and will the most loyal citizen please introduce themselves?
Ooh. Is that a stat, or are we just
as you are trying to decide who is the most loyal citizen, you hear a strange voice come over the tannoys. Greetings, new citizens. This is the voice. This is a voice coming over the hidden speakers throughout the room. I'm very concerned none of you realise who the most loyal is. However, welcome to your first day in Alpha Complex. Any previous days in Alpha Complex you may recall are pseudo memories uploaded to your brain lobes to aid orientation and minimise psychotic incidents in fresh clones. As citizens of Alpha Complex, you are now valued members of our great community. You will be given roles and tasks, some simple and some perilous, and your contributions will be rewarded with, and then all of a sudden you hear this massive explosion in the distance, drowning out the computer's voice that you just heard. The room shakes silently, and then an alarm sounds for a few seconds and then cuts out. A chunk of tiling falls from the ceiling. As you can see, cracks and things start to form in the ceiling above you, and it comes crashing down in a cloud of concrete and dust, hitting a poor little scrub bot that was cleaning room. Think of the kind of Red Dwarf scrub bots. It was a little cleaning robot just moving around. It had been sitting there silently in one corner next to a stock of mops, it says. There is a brief silence, and then words form in the air in front of you, in front of your eyes. It says, "Please stand by," in big right letters. A moment later, two more form. It says, "The door." What do you do?
No, I open the door.
So you go.
Attempt to open the door.
Good. So you move over to there. What's everyone else doing?
Leslie's still trying to figure out their pixelation.
So
Like using different things, like a hand, to see if I put the hand under it, does it blur the hand? No, and then like, what about this one? Leslie's having a good time trying to figure it all out.
touching things, having a good feel around, and
Just a rummage, a general orientation, shall we call it?
Yes, it was.
No, I'm a little confused, so I'm gonna go out the door.
So you're going, both of you going over to that.
Well, I kind of forgot. Solomon kind of forgot until he got to the door that he was naked. So he would like to actually go and take some of those clothes that were hanging up and put them on.
So Solomon's gone back. He went to the door, but then he's returned back to put on his overalls.
Yeah, got to the door and thought, "Ooh," and he's gone back, gone to the clothes, and I would like to take off some of the clothes from where they were hanging or whatever it was and put them on.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, and Judd's just about to open the door, it flings open, and a woman comes in, and the name floating above her head is Roz HYT2. Her eyes are focused on something in front of her that you can't see. Her red jumpsuit matches her hair. A memory you've never accessed before tells you that she's red level, and you are infrared, which means she's one level of security clearance above you, and she can tell you what to do, and she does. Get dressed, clones, she says, and looks at Solomon, and that's the spirit. Get.
I'm on it.
You're on it. I'll remember you. Alpha Complex needs you. We've had a full-on terrorist attack on the lowest levels of a nearby sector, and it's all hands to the pump. You don't need the rest of the briefing. If you need to know anything, look it up in your Alphapedia through your cerebral cortex implant. Everyone's got their CC running, right?
Do I feel this thing in me?
Well,
I don't.
And she says to you, "Can you see my name above my head?"
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so good. Well, that means it's working.
Okay.
And she points to above her head, so you can all see where it is.
Oh yeah, I do.
So, Solomon, we know you're getting dressed. So what's everyone else doing?
Oh, I didn't know there were clothes. I will get dressed.
Yeah, so there's a rack of black overalls. So infrareds wear black overalls. While Roz, you've seen that she's wearing a red overall, which means she's one level of security higher than you. She can tell you what to do.
Leslie's put on her overalls, or their overalls, I should say.
Okay, and did you say Norman? Norman's putting out his...
Norman's getting dressed.
Good, very good citizens. Ross continues, great, your cerebral cortex is your link to your friend the computer. Information, directions, mission updates, XP points, holo vids and the rest, it's all beamed straight to your eyeball display. Anything else you need to know, sub-vocalize it, the computer can see and hear everything you can, so you don't have to describe anything. This computer knows already. So in game terms, if you ever want to speak to the computer in secret, just send me a private message on Discord, and I'll keep an eye out for that. So if there's any question you wanted to ask the computer, or if there's anything that you wanted to let the computer know, you can do that. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And like Roz said, you've also got access to the Alphapedia, which is like the Wikipedia of the Alpha Complex. So you can ask the computer to help you access information that way.
Okay.
So Roz continues, okay, grab your mops. You're all working for technical services, and your first job is, and she scans the room, to get that scrub bot repaired. Escort it to the technical services depot down the corridor. Make sure nothing else happens to it. Don't screw it up. Alpha Complex needs a lot of scrubbing right now. You'll get 10 XP points each for this. She leaves. Now it's just you, the scrub bot, and some mops. What do you do?
Okay. Let's see.
Well, I can scrub. Norman can collect his items for scrubbing.
So you're going to collect your you're going to collect your items for scrubbing.
Yeah.
So there's I think there was some mops in the room that she told you to collect. So you're gonna.
I'll get an extra mop.
2 mops.
How much mopping can one man do?
Leslie is mopless, so they begin to like push the scrub bot around in an effort to try to clean the floor without a mop.
Okay.
I imagine the scrub bot's unhappy about being forced about.
Solomon will point out. Well, I can see Leslie's name above. Is it his or her? Is it
It's there.
there above their head? So, yeah, Leslie, were we not to take that somewhere else and scrub?
Leslie kind of turns around and goes, oh.
I'm sure Roz said something.
And
I
kind of
mean,
looks up and down the corridor and kind of looks at you and okay, and picks up the scrub bot and just like tucks it under their arm.
Oh right, okay. I mean the scrub bots are pretty heavy. I think we'll introduce the kind of rolling things that you need to do here. So if you look on your character sheet, you will see a series of stats. So there's violence, chutzpah, which is your kind of social chutzpah is your kind of social skill, convincing people, and your kind of social stat there. Then there's brains and mechanics, and there should be a score, possibly a plus something in some of those. So using Josh's as an example, I'm just looking at your sheet. So like violence +3.
yes, I am violent apparently.
And then below that are the skills. So what you can do is when you want to do an action, you choose one of the stats and then combine it with a skill that best helps you kind of match what you're trying to do, and then you add up those 2 numbers. If it's a minus, you still add them up. So let's say violence on Josh's plus science, which is -1, would it doesn't mean 2. It actually means you ignore the minus and you add the numbers together. And when you roll the dice, any non-successes I will take away from your successes if you had a minus stat. But if it was all plus stats, then we ignore any non-successes and just go with the successes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it will make more sense.
It'll make more sense as we go along. So, Leslie was going to try and pick this up.
Leslie didn't quite conceive of the size of the scrub bot because Leslie's never seen Red Dwarf. So I don't.
So yes,
of
course.
Don't know. I'm picturing like one of those little like robots from the Death Star.
Yeah, this is
the little, like toaster robots from the Death Star.
Yeah, so as you go up to it and inspect it, you clearly can't pick this up by yourself.
Okay, it's larger than I anticipated. Yeah. Okay, great. Leslie does not make the mistake of trying to pick up the scrub bot.
Do you want to inspect it further, or?
Yeah, Leslie sees if it's got pre-programmed cleaning stuff in it, and it already knows it can take us to where we need to go.
Okay, so what are you going to use
I guess
to do
let's
that?
see. Leslie would use. I feel like something as simple as seeing if something was already programmed into a thing isn't terribly complex. So I guess I'll roll operate.
Yeah, combined with. So that's -3 for you.
Yeah, but you said I add it together and it becomes 4, and then any non.
Yeah. So operate with.
Kids with crayons right now. So I'm figuring it out as I go.
Yeah, operate with. I didn't hear.
Mechanic.
So you would be rolling 4 dice. So click the node button, and we'll see how successful that is.
Roll well.
No, let's see what happens. I don't know. Fuck it.
So you got 2 successes, but minus the 2 failures. I
can't see those.
And
in your chat box, if you hover over the yellow, it's telling you got 2 successes, but there was also 2 3s in there, which are non-successes, and we need to take them away. So
I see.
So 5 and 6s are successes, and anything not.
Oh, I see.
And because it was a minus stat, we have to take the non-successes
away. So I end up with nothing. Nothing happens.
So yeah, all you glean from is you see the scrub bot twitching, and you give it a push at it, and it kind of scrambles a little bit by itself, but bits and pieces are falling off it, oil's leaking out, and it's for a machine, it's actually sounding quite injured, so it's moaning a little bit.
Hey, guys, I think this scrub bot's got some issues.
Well, I mean, I can have a look what needs done.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I'm not what you call like a techie. So I think you should look at it, and I'm gonna stand over here.
Okay, well, I will. Solomon will walk up to it and check out. So, looking at its machinery, or like, is there wiring exposed? What was that we were looking at on it?
So it's a big concrete block has landed on it, and there's wires coming
Oh,
out,
yeah.
panels have opened, oil's leaking out. It's when Leslie pushed it, it's slowly scrambling, trying to scramble forwards with its brushes spinning around, but it's not doing a very good job of it. As you're inspecting it, you hear a cough by the door, and Roz is looking at you. For goodness sake, I said get it down to the Alpha Complex Technical Service Depot.
Oh, well, okay. Maybe if we all push, maybe we'll all be able to move it together.
Leslie shrugs and aids in the effort.
Oh, well, actually, maybe we should try taking this concrete block off it first.
Oh, yeah, that would probably also help.
Yep. So give me a roll for trying to lift this concrete block off. What you're going to use?
Am I doing it, or are you doing it? Are we all doing it? What's happening?
I can help with
Is there, if we all do something together, is there different mechanics, or do we all roll individually?
So you just need to choose someone who's taking the lead.
Okay,
maybe
I see. I've got no skill in athletics, or
okay. I might be the best one.
But if you're assisting each other, what that does is makes the roll number of successes required easier. So let's say if one of you was trying to pick it up by itself, I would want something like 4 successes. But if you're all
then maybe 2 or 1.
maybe 2 or yeah.
Well, why don't I try? Because
why don't you try? We'll all help, but why don't you do the roll?
Okay, so I've got a +2 in athletics.
Yep.
Okay.
If I combine that with violence, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose
that gives
Unless
me
you
a
want to
fling it.
smart the thing or
No, I'm not great.
charm
I mean,
the thing away.
Well, I guess smarts might be using your mop to lever it or something like that.
I think for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and try and lift the bloody thing off.
Okay.
So what do I roll? So +3 and a +2.
So, sorry, I'm just looking at your character sheet. What are you using again? Violence,
I
which
was
is
using
+3.
violence with athletics.
So you'd be rolling 5 dice in total.
Ooh.
And we're not taking away any failures.
Okay.
So that's just one success, which is it's nearly enough. The concrete lifts up, but you crush your left foot as you're doing it. Give yourself a tick on the hurt section of your.
That went badly. So is that I'm now hurt?
Yes.
Oh no. Okay, well, hurt. Okay.
But yes, the concrete block is off the thing now.
Well, that's something, I guess.
Quick question on skills: is Alpha Complex as a skill like knowledge of the world around us?
That's
How does that factor in as like a skill?
So, well, I guess it's down to the situation that you're trying to use that skill for. So I guess it's a little bit of convincing me why you're using that. But yeah, it's about what Alpha Complex is where
Like
you
world
live.
Lore.
Yeah. So
okay, that makes sense. That's fine.
Well, shall we now all try and push this towards to the technical services?
Before I try and push it, now that the concrete block is off the top of it, what's happened to the scrub bot? Is it mobile?
Yeah. So it's still slowly trying to move forwards, but it's not getting very far. You could probably, looking at it, you could probably push it, but the oil it's leaving behind and bits of pieces falling off, it's probably going to lose a lot as you're pushing it.
Is Leslie still around?
Yeah, Leslie's right next to you. with the
Oh, not
block.
Leslie. What's the woman
Roz.
name called?
Roz.
Is Roz still around?
Yeah, so she's at the door, just kind of tutting and furiously writing in a notepad.
Okay.
Solomon would like to take one of the mops. And
So
is it just
Solomon's got his mop. Okay, yeah.
yeah. And so have I got? Is it got like normal kind of mop? What do you call the thing?
So
Features.
it's a wooden pole and
Is it-
one of
is
those
it a mop?
traditional stringy,
Yeah,
white
stringy
stringy
thing.
looking.
Okay, I would like to rip the strings off the bottom of the mop
Okay.
and then twisting them together as best as I can. Is there one place that the oil is leaking from that I could tie it round?
Yeah. So inspecting it, you know there's a you can see it's almost like an open artery pumping out slightly. You find
Yeah,
that
I would
area
like to try and apply pressure and then tie the rest of the strings, which I've kind of twisted round to try and tie them, if there's enough of them to do that.
Okay. Tell me what you're going to roll, and we'll see how that goes.
I guess this is brains with
So if
I
you
guess
don't
it
have
would
a
be engineer.
yeah, if you're looking at a box that doesn't have a stat in it, you're just not adding any dice to that.
Right, that's fine. I think the only one
So
that
you're
I've
rolling
got
3 dice, but we would be taking away.
2 off.
Yeah.
Oh. I'll do it anyway. What? Okay, well,
So
I
one.
suck at that.
So yeah, you so a consequence of that, the computer's voice comes
Oh no.
over the tannoy and directly talks to you, Solomon.
Oh.
Citizen Solomon, can you explain to me why you have destroyed your Alpha Complex assigned mop?
I thought
Leslie takes a step back.
I thought that under the circumstances it was better served attempting to fix this scrub bot, which is probably more productive than I am.
And can you explain to me when you first received your training to repair? Because looking at my records, I can't find that anywhere.
I was unaware I required training, and I apologize.
Thank you for apologising to Friend Computer. Friend Computer appreciates manners. However,
Oh no.
breaking equipment, valuable equipment, rare equipment like a Alpha Complex mop, could be seen as treason. I am a little less trusting of you. Take 1 treason star, and you need to mark a treason star
Oh no.
on your sheet. So with 1 treason star, the computer. So these can be seen publicly by troubleshooters. So they're usually of red security, and they can see people's treason stars. You can't see each other's treason stars until you became red clearance. And 1 star means that the computer mistrusts you, and so on. So 5 all the way up to 5, and usually you will be imminently killed, or a death squad will be sent out to find and track you down as a traitor to Alpha
Like in
Complex.
GTA, it's your wanted level.
That's my wanted level. Oh, so I'm now hurt and slightly treasonous.
Yes, you have a broken foot.
Fantastic. It's
A little
going well
treason.
for me.
But
A
you,
little treasonous. Oh. Well, I'm gonna pout and stand away from the scrub bot for now.
and the computer says, before I leave, I understand your instructions are to take this scrub bot to the maintenance area. I will kindly point the way for you, and you see all 3 of you. This overly large red flashing arrow pointing the direction, which is almost obscuring your view. It's very difficult to see around it, but at least you know which way to go. And the computer says, "And stay happy, citizens. Happiness is mandatory."
Solomon feigns a smile.
Leslie's already got a huge grin.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Solomon's going to stand with his broken mop.
So what are you going to do next?
Leslie starts walking in the direction of the arrow, and now that the scrub bot is freed, they're gonna wait and see if the bot like follows, I guess.
Say that again. Sorry, you cut out slightly.
Oh, I said Leslie's gonna start walking in the direction of the arrow with the hope that now that the bot has been freed, it's going to follow them.
So how are you going to convince it to follow you?
Leslie is going to intimidate the robot
Brilliant.
with their chutzpah. So
7 dice, yes.
it's gonna say.
What's he going to say?
Leslie. They're gonna go up to it, and does it have like an auditory receiver? Does it have like a robot ear that Leslie would be able to recognize?
Roll and we'll find out.
Okay. No, not that.
You
It's
tell
no.
that robot.
Apologies. Have we started moving this robot yet?
Leslie's currently trying to intimidate
Leslie,
it.
they haven't done well.
No.
A little. I mean, you know, it's not no successes.
No, you've got 2 successes there.
Yeah.
5, 2 5s. So yes, it does hear you and does start to crawl towards the door, but towards the door at a very slow pace. Unfortunately,
Oh.
you're gonna have to slowly walk behind it if that's what you're wanting to do.
Like a dying animal
Can
that we're
I-
shouting at.
Push it.
Yes, you could push it if you just tell me what
I'd
stats you
like
want.
to kick it alive athletically.
Okay.
Kick it athletically.
So using your athletics, which is a
So
-1,
+1 and a -1.
so violence, did you say?
Yeah, violence.
So that's just a roll me 1 dice, but we'll have to.
If there's one thing I know Judd likes in his games, it's violence.
Oh, the computer. So
Oh,
no
no.
successes, and it's the
Might not end
computer's.
well.
The computer immediately comes on. All cameras point towards Norman. Violence against Alpha Complex scrub bots is incredibly disrespectful
Steps
to
further
me. The
Seemed
computer.
required to get this thing to move, really, and it wasn't quite violent. I was just giving it a push,
A kick.
trying to expedite my following of orders to better serve the Alpha Complex.
That sounds more acceptable, Citizen Norman. I would prefer it you didn't kick the bots. I'm impressed by your enthusiasm to get the job done, but time is ticking away. You have been in this room a very long time. Get that bot to the area I have clearly pointed out to you. While I'm on the line, anyway, my citizens, I want to explain XP points to you. Now you have been given a job, I will give you 1 XP point. These XP points, when collected, will enable you to buy the luxuries you require here on Alpha Complex, including eventually increasing your security level if you are successful in the jobs that you do for me.
I won't need anything. Alpha Complex supplies everything I need already.
Suck up.
Leslie also takes the bait and shouts at an uncomfortably loud and monotone volume. All I require for happiness is your love, friend computer.
This is the spirit I like you to. You, Norman, and
Norman's
Leslie
scared.
have
Oh, sorry,
two
Solomon.
have 2 XP instead of 1. This is very good.
I'm
Solomon,
Norman,
you are only having 1
I'm
XP.
Norman, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Solomon. I got the name wrong. Solomon is still quiet and scared, just holding the broken mop still.
Solomon, I think you need to take a happy pill, and a little drawer
no.
pops out next to you, and a happy pill appears.
I take the pill.
And what do you do with it?
I just shove it down my throat and gulp it down. No water or anything, and just swallow it.
That is very good, Solomon. That was actually a suppository, but it should work eventually.
Okay, sorry.
Before you leave this briefing room, I want you to ask yourself the following 3 questions. 1. Do I have all my equipment with me? 2. Do I...
I weigh 2 mops a day.
Excellent. 2. Do I know where I'm going? 4. Do I know what to do when I get there? 6. Do any of the people around me like mutants, terrorists, or other forms of traitors? If the answer to any of these questions is no, or in some cases yes, then ask your mission briefing operative for clarification. Good luck with your mission, citizens.
I will sideways glance at Stanley. What's Josh called?
Solomon.
Solomon.
Hello.
I will when
Yeah,
he says traitor,
Leslie's shuffling
I
a
will,
little further away.
I will sideways glance at him.
Excuse me, Norman, may I have your extra mop?
I don't believe the friend computer asked me to supply treasonous people with equipment, but I don't know what you're going to use this for.
I mean, I only want to use it for mopping now. I made a mistake before, but now I just need a mop. I believe I require one for our task ahead, I would assume.
I would like to object to that and say that I have not committed any treason and also have no mop. So if anyone's going to get one, I feel it should be me first.
Then in that case, Leslie will have a mop. Because,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Receives the mop with great
and I will,
credit.
again, shifty look at Solomon.
So, Leslie and Norman have mops. Solomon has a broken mop.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leslie would like to... Leslie would like to shuffleboard the bot in the right direction using the mop as like a cue.
Yep, that sounds like an excellent idea. What are you going
Leslie's
to use?
going to utilize their brains
Yes.
and their science for the physics involved in getting the push just right to get it right on the bullseye.
Go for it.
Excellent. Oh god, that worked.
Oh no.
Poo.
Oh, one.
Computers are bad, aren't they?
Yes, the computer appears once again. Norman, I would have a message from our research and development department. They are very interested in that scrub bot, particularly the liquid that is currently leaking from it. They require...
I will start mopping up the liquid into my mop.
They require a sample. Please use your mouth to collect a sample and take that to the receptacle that should appear next to the door, and a little cup appears.
You what was your name? And Leslie looks at Judd's character.
My name is Norman.
Norman, friend computer wants the ooze that comes out of the box. You should squeeze your mop into Solomon's mouth.
Did he not ask you for it?
No, it asked Solomon.
No, as Norman. From what I've
or Norman.
Norman.
It wasn't me. The computer did not say Leslie.
Computer. We're sorry. We misunderstood. Who was to carry out this task?
And that's Norman.
Okay.
Sorry, my notes have disappeared. Josh, what's your character called?
Solomon.
Josh's
Solomon.
character's called Solomon.
Solomon, are your clone's ears not working correctly?
Defective.
Defective. Do not
possibly.
correct the computer, treasonous.
Wait, did I just get another star? Or?
I said Norman.
Okay. Norman. That was
Norman. Sorry, Norman. I misheard our glorious computer. You should wring that mop out into your own mouth.
Excuse me?
You should wring out the mop with the fluid friend computer wants in your mouth into your mouth. Would you like assistance?
Well, I do, but I feel that would corrupt the taint to the sample that they're looking for.
I'm sorry, Norman. Are you, and just a little too loudly, Leslie says, kind of on purpose, are you questioning Friend Computer's orders?
On hearing that, 4 guns come down from the ceiling, one pointing at all of you.
I would never be so treasonous as to think that Friend Computer did not know better than I.
I love Friend Computer.
It's too late for you.
Oh.
And a countdown appears on the screen
Put it in your mouth.
next to
Put
the
it
cup.
in your mouth.
Okay, I will suck the mop.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting way of doing
The
it.
bottom of the mop, not the mop handle.
Completely unrelated task.
And
Put it in the cup. Put it in the cup.
Is there a cup?
yes, there's a cup appeared by the door.
Popped out of the wall.
Oh, right. Of course, yeah, then I'll put it in the cup. Where did this come into the mouth business?
That was the order.
It said use your mouth.
Oh, right. Well, I've got some in the mop, so I'll squeeze the mop into the cup.
No, don't.
And
No.
the gun takes Norman's head off.
What?
Oh.
Oh.
And you blood splatters all over Solomon and Leslie. A large a large tube pops down out of the ceiling, sucks Norman's body up into the ceiling, which vanishes, and the head and everything vanishes into the ceiling. Then right next to it, another clear tube pops down, and Norman's second clone appears there.
What happened to the countdown?
The countdown has stopped. The receptacles gone back in, and the computer says, Norman PXR2 has now entered the room. All is forgiven with new clones. Any crimes, any treasonous acts belong to your first clone. But any equipment, including your 2 mops, you will see have been returned to you, and 2 mops plop down into your hands from the tube.
Does Leslie still have their mop?
No, those Norman's 2 mops got sucked up with his dead body. But if Leslie had a mop before,
Yeah, excuse me, DM. I only had 1 mop. I'd already given one to Leslie.
okay, so just 1 mop comes down. Thank you. Into your hands. So you need to adjust your name on your character sheet. So clone number 2. So
I can't edit this sheet.
I would just try and remember that. I'll make a note of it as well.
Hello again, Norman. How are you?
So
fairly glad they went for the head and not the like a gut wound.
Do clones retain all the memories of their previous incarnations?
Yes, they do. Everything, yeah.
So I remember the exact moment of death.
Yes, so your memories, you'll know from looking in your Alphapedia that all your memories are uploaded. Just give me a second.
Do I remember anything about a tunnel of light anywhere? Do clones have a soul?
If that doesn't appear in your Alphapedia, then you clearly don't have the security clearance to know that information. Just bear with me. I need to turn our VPN off for my wife. She's trying to watch something on there. Bear with me a second.
Seems like I was a little bit fobbed off with that answer. But, okay.
Well, security clearance is everything.
Quiet, traitor.
I am no traitor.
Treasonous scum.
I'm just slightly treasonous because of a mistake. And then Solomon realizes what he's saying and suddenly becomes quiet again.
So you admit to being treasonous?
No, I love Friend Computer.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I remember someone saying something about treason.
I'd read it.
Okay, I'm back. Sort it down.
Hello.
I forgot to say, if you do send computer a secret message, let me know, because I can't have the two screens open at once, so I won't see it. So just say out of character that you've sent me a message.
I have
that
said
kind
that.
of ruins the point of the secret message.
Not in character, it doesn't.
Yeah, the other characters won't know what it says. I think if we're playing across a tabletop, you would just hand a written note to this,
like
so
a note,
everyone would know that anyway. So the little bot is actually halfway out the door. It's the push and the kick has pushed it forwards, and it's slowly scrubbing its way out of the door. Which is, you didn't quite notice that at first, because the big red arrow that's flashing you, telling where to go, is obstructing you, your vision.
Oh. Well, I mean, we can move forward and try and continue pushing it then.
Yep.
I would like to try.
So as you approach the door and you start to leave the room chasing this bot, sirens suddenly blare, and a large pop-up window appears in your field of view, alerting you to the proximity of a wanted terrorist. What's name the not dead? It says, "Be
I
careful."
will glance at
Yeah.
Solomon again.
Leslie just points right at Solomon.
It says, "Be careful. He may be after your mops."
Leslie grips him up.
I was going to say, we only have one left.
No, we've got me and Leslie each have.
No,
one.
we each have.
Yeah, they've got,
Oh,
and Solomon's got his broken one.
Yeah, I've got my mop handle.
Unless you left it in the room.
No. I still had the mop handle.
Okay.
I have, however, left the mop strings. They're behind me, so.
So the
I
sirens are blaring, and this pop-up, it's.
Can I mentally
flashing.
click X on the pop-up? Can I dismiss it from my view?
You could consult the computer or Alphapedia to find out how you would do that.
Okay. How do I literally ask you? How computer help, Alphapedia help?
Citizen, yes. How can I be of assistance?
I am unsure how to stop obstructing my view with this pop-up that's currently in my eyes.
Why would you want to remove important messages I've sent you?
I have absorbed the message properly, and now I wish to continue with my task.
Because traitors don't care for your message, friend.
I am no traitor. I love friend computer.
That is correct. Traitors do not like to read my messages, do not follow my instructions. Yes, I'm becoming more and more concerned about you, Solomon.
Oh no. I'm gonna die.
As you're talking to the computer, and this pop-up message is still blocking your sight, you can just see around the edges. You spot a man in black uniform, like yours, sprinting down the corridor towards you. He looks terrified, eyes are big, and then looking constantly behind him, running towards you. And what you do notice, he has 5 gold stars floating above him in the air, above
Point
his
of
head.
order. I thought we didn't have the security clearance to view such things.
Do not question the computer.
I would like to trip him. Gold stars are treason, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 5 means, as you know,
instant death.
Very, very treasonous. I would like to trip him with my mop,
Okay.
and I would like to operate that mop violently in his way.
In his direction.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you
so
gonna rub it on his face?
No, I'm gonna put it along the floor. I'm gonna operate the mop, but violently.
yeah, so he's running towards you. Get out of my way!
But I'll stand aside and I'll mop like a curler.
Nice. So, what are you going to use to do that?
My mop and my violence, my operate and my violence.
Operate. And violence.
I am operating the mop, aren't I?
So that's +1 and
+3.
Yeah, I
3,
agree.
so,
You are literally
I am
violently.
operating the mop in the most violent way possible.
Go on then. Oh,
So that's is that 4 then?
yes.
I can game this system.
Um,
What's that?
Ooh,
2,
I don't.
a 5 and a 6. So 2. I must have just the symbol that I was supposed to pick up. So the computer comes up on a 6, and I must have not titled that number correctly. So don't worry, it's not. No, it's not bad. It's not a computer. It's only when the computer symbol comes up. So you've got 2 successes. So he goes flying past you. Is the notorious wasp name Not the Dead has avoided more intelligent and quicker people than you, and he leaps over your mop, and the 2 pursuers of the death squad behind him actually didn't see the mop, and they trip over it. And go not enough. Go flying. Midair.
Leslie, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Midair, wasp name does a backflip and gives you all the finger. But then as he comes to land, he didn't see the scrub bot and the oil that continues to leak out of it. He slips, does a backflip. And lands on his neck with a horrible crack. There's also a second crack as another security guard chasing him trips over your mop, and that's also snaps.
Leslie immediately pounces on the man and makes it look as though they have lain him low, and says, "Friend computer."
The sirens stop. All the security guards that look at you, and it's clear from we're laying on top of him that this guy is dead.
Excuse me, DM. It seems the only way to pass this test was inaction, and I feel that is bad storytelling.
Some more troubleshooters thunder around the corner, and they look fantastic in their red armor and laser pistols drawn, and they halt by the corpse. Their leader fixes you with one metallic eye. Which of you is responsible for this?
I mean, you're going to have to be more specific than just this. There's a lot that's happened in the last 10 seconds.
He waves his arm around at the devastation. 2 of my men injured. This terrorist dead.
I mean, that would be...
Solomon points at Norman.
Yeah, Leslie also points at Norman.
Norman.
He did it.
I mean...
Well, I mean, the terrorist kind of did it to himself.
Agreed.
He slipped on some oil, but the rest of it was all mop hands.
Here. So they all point their guns at you. We can't decide if you are helping him or trying to help us. Friend computer, we need your assistance. And a computer monitor pops out the ceiling. Congratulations, Infrared Working Party. You have aided Alpha Complex with your selfless act of quick thinking. One less terrorist is one more reason to sleep well tonight.
I will sideways glance at Solomon.
Each of you receives 500 XP points immediately. This is enough to raise you to the red level. Well done. And all the troubleshooters who were pointing their guns at you put their guns down immediately and start clapping.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah, Norman.
As they said, I was entirely responsible.
The computer continues. However, sensory feedback indicates destruction of valuable Alpha Complex equipment, specifically a revised standard mop. Infrared Working Parties, each of you have 5 XP points deducted as a lesson in taking care of valuable items in your care. In recognition of your abilities, you are being reassigned to a new mission where there will be less chance of damage to equipment. Await new briefing details. Thank you. Your friend, the computer.
Thank you, computer.
I don't think my mop was damaged. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he did. He said it.
What's my new item?
I don't think you actually get a new item.
It says new item.
So
You don't.
you will know from your Alphapedia that you are now only 4 XP points. I think Josh, you were 5 XP points away from becoming red level
Yeah.
and becoming troubleshooters. So you're very close. So
Troubleshooters.
Do we still get a new mission even though we haven't ascended to red level yet?
yes, so
Okay.
behind the troubleshooters and all their red armor, as they start to carry what's name's body away, as they part, you see Roz, your supervisor, shaking her head and just
Leslie smiles and waves at Roz. Hi, Roz.
and a large scrub bot appears from a hatch in the wall and makes itself busy ingesting the corpse of what's named the broken mop and the smallest scrub bot. Roz reappears from down the corridor bearing a sheet of paper. I suppose you think you're clever. The sector is in crisis and you go around interrupting the work of troubleshooters. I'm not impressed. Plus you've been reassigned, effective immediately. It says here Go on.
Point of order, Roz. We weren't interfering with troubleshooters. We were assisting Friend Computer in apprehending a violent terrorist and were rewarded for our efforts. And I think that if you loved Friend Computer as much as we do, you would agree with it and laud our efforts, not detract from them.
I will just at this. I will sideways glance at Solomon, but I'll say, "Get fucking wrecked, bitch!" and I'll nod towards.
Dissent is death, Roz. Dissent is death.
Roz, Friend Computer.
And Leslie just wants to sorry, last one. Just glance up at Roz's name, which Roz obviously would know is there, and just look at the clone number. Because it's not 1, is it, Roz? It's not 1.
Roz looks up at the computer. Computer? Yes, Friend Computer here, Roz. How may I be of assistance? I'm afraid my 3 new underlings are being disrespectful to me. Oh, is that correct, Leslie, Norman, and Solomon?
Friend Computer, another point of order, if I may, using chutzpah and bureaucracy. Leslie would like to try and describe an arcane bylaw that exists within the Alpha Complex Code, which states that you can't be subordinate if you are justifying Friend Computer's actions.
Okay, give me a roll.
Okay, hang on.
1 success. Friend Computer speaks to you directly. That rule, as you should know, was last year's rule. This year's rule is that you must always obey my final word. And my final word is, die, you treasonous scum! And a gun pops out. And
I don't think this computer is particularly benevolent, everybody.
blows your head off.
Great.
I mean, the game's called Paranoia.
See, now here I thought it was just a megalomaniac, but no.
A tube pops down,
Yep.
sucks you up, and the computer asks Leslie and Solomon if there's anything there. Norman and Solomon if there's anything they'd like to add.
No, not adding anything to anything right now.
Over to you then, Roz. So Roz continues, and just as she's about to start, another tube pops down, and
Leslie too.
Leslie 2 pops out. Welcome, Leslie 2. I will continue with my brief. It says here you are to go to Sector Hoy, where you must find a plug. Unplug it, and plug it back in again. Don't ask me questions, I know as much as you do. Cerebral cortex will guide you. Keep hold of your mops, this is only 150 XP points, and... oh great, I'm apparently coming too.
Oh, I lost you.
You cut out for me.
Oh, sorry.
VPN back on.
Yeah. So how far did you get?
Something about a plug.
Keep hold of your mops, I heard, and then
Yeah,
talk about
so she's your mission is to find a plug, unplug it, and then plug it back in again. Don't ask me any questions. I know as much as you do. Cerebral Cortex will guide you. Keep hold of your mops. This is only 150 XP point mission. Oh, and great. Apparently I'm coming too. A notification pops up in everyone's Cerebral Cortex, directing them to the nearest production, logistics, and commissionary depot. So you can see a yellow arrow pointing down the corridor, and you see Roz just sulking as she follows the yellow arrow. Are you coming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there any mops still around in the area that we have not sighted yet?
No, just
So what exactly condition is my mop?
yours is snapped in half. I believe.
Mine's restored. Not that it was broken,
Yes,
but I'm sure it got
Leslie's
fucked up
is
and replaced.
Leslie's is fine. Oh, actually, Judd. Who did I just kill?
Alex.
Alex,
Leslie.
yeah. So yours will have been returned to you in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Norman's is broken, and so is Josh's. He
Oh.
ripped the head off, didn't he?
Oh no. Okay, I would keep hold of my.
So if it's broken in half, are we talking half along the length of the?
Yeah,
shaft?
someone tripped over it and snapped the
Right, okay,
shaft
so
in
I
half.
do in fact just have a mop, but a smaller mop.
A
That's
shorter
right.
mop, yes. And,
Yes.
and a stick.
Yeah, you managed to get your new item. You now have stick.
As you follow Roz down the corridor, you see that the logistics and commissionary department is right next door to the technical services department where you were supposed to deliver the scrub bot.
Leslie kind of nudges Roz and smiles and points at the sign like, "Hey, look."
Yes. Your cerebral cortex reminds you. It reminds you that's where you're supposed to go. A bored-looking technician looks up at you. Infrared work party to Sector Hoy. Wait there. And he comes back with some equipment. So I'm going to dish out some equipment to you. Let me get my
Does this include my new item?
You didn't get a new item. Shut up.
It says new item.
That was the.
Then yes, this will include your new item.
Yes, there you go.
You're not the DM on this one, Alex. You can't make that call.
He already told you weren't getting a new item.
I wasn't listening.
Well, that's your fault.
Right, let's see if I can do this. So, the technician hands the equipment to Roz, who starts to begin ticking off the checklist. Crowbar. Issued the last one an hour ago. Breathing apparatus, wear out. Jetpacks. He gives Roz a long-suffering look. Scrubbot. No, we were supposed to have one come through from technical services, but there seems to be some sort of hitch there. You got mops?
Yeah.
I have this hyper-efficient shorter mop, so I can mop in confined spaces.
Ah, clever. Maybe
I show mine and I'm like, mine doesn't have the mop part.
He broke his.
They should do. Sign here, please. And he hands you a piece of paper to Roz, who reluctantly signs it. And he gives you a megaphone. So let me send that over. Who wants the megaphone?
I do.
Excellent. That's the
He does.
spirits. So that can go over to Judd.
Ooh.
So, Judd, that's for you. Next is some body armor.
Mine. Please.
Good call.
Solomon sticks his hand in the air and waves it a little.
Next is 3 medkits.
Is that going to do any good? No, I'm good at blowing stuff up, but that's...
I will.
Okay, that's the spirit. And send those over. And finally, a grapple gun.
Dibs.
I will.
No, dibs.
And we'll send that over to Leslie, seeing as you said dibs first.
I sure
Leslie,
did.
I will trade you your gun that shoots a grapple for this gun that shoots noise.
I do like noise.
You are very chups. Pa.
I do have lots of chutztapas. Okay.
Okay, sweet. We'll swap.
So I have the armor, and that's
You have the
all I
armor.
took. Okay. Can I put on the armor?
One would assume.
I feel it would be silly not to.
I would like to.
Were
put
you
on the
going to
body.
drag it behind you?
Maybe, you don't know.
I sure don't.
No, I will equip the body armor. I will hold it and pause, and just be like, should I put this on? Roz?
If you must, yes. You're not going to drag it behind you, are you?
Well,
Ironic, we just said that.
okay,
Clever,
then
aren't
we'll
we?
put it on.
I couldn't agree more, Ross.
Solomon looks a bit chastised and puts it on.
Roz explains to you that Sector High, where we need to go, is not very close, so we're going to have to use an elevator.
I don't think I've ever been in an elevator before.
Well, being a fresh clone, no, probably not. She takes you to the turbo elevators and punches in your destination, and the doors close behind you. The elevator drops, changes its mind, goes briefly sideways, then up, then sideways. Ross says to you, "It's meant to do that. Well, at least it does that." The ride seems to go on for a while, and it's not possible to tell if the elevator is moving anymore or just standing still and vibrating.
Oh.
Leslie turns to Roz. Is it supposed to? Is this normal? I'm having a great time, but like.
Good. Happiness is mandatory.
Mandatory,
Yes. Yes. It does this sometimes. I'm not. To try opening the doors.
Yes. You there with the body armor, Trader One. Why don't you open the door?
Well, please don't call me that. But yeah.
Please don't be a traitor.
I'm not. I
You
will
are
try.
more traitorous than the rest of us, according to your own
Please,
statistics.
I'm just trying to help. And he'll Solomon will go up to the door and attempt to pry it with his fingers. Oh no, wait. Actually, before he does that, he say, can I maybe have that crowbar, please? Who had the crowbar? Was there a crowbar? Was there a mention of a crowbar?
No,
the
you're out of crowbars.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
Please don't damage Alpha Complex.
I will. Roz, do you think we should do this? I don't
It was
know.
Roz's idea.
I
She
will.
asked you to open the door.
Okay, I'll go and prise it open then, using, I guess, violence and
Great, melee.
charm.
as
No.
as you approach the door, Solomon, the actual lift talks to you. A substance proximity to the doors may cause inconvenience to occupants.
Substance.
Am I a substance?
Aren't we all?
Well, I'm sorry, Lift, but Alpha Computer wants us to go to Hoy, and I need to get there. So, and you seem to have stopped. Have you stopped, Lift?
Yes, I have stopped. Substance in proximity to the doors may cause inconvenience to the occupants.
Oh, okay.
No, there is a substance which is near the doors, which is causing our inconvenience.
Oh, well, that could just be me now.
Lift computer, can you tell us which side of the door it's on?
Substance in proximity to the doors may cause inconvenience to occupants.
Solomon steps back just to test. Steps away from the door and then asks the lift again. Lift, what is your current status now?
We have stopped. Substance is in proximity to the doors may cause inconvenience to occupants.
So yeah, so Solomon will then go and say, okay, well, and go and try and pry the door open, using violence, I suppose, because it's like, and is it athletics, I assume, again.
Yeah, go for
it. What's that? That was +2 +3, so 5. I can do it. One success.
You swing widely at the door and seems to have no effect, but the swing goes a bit wide and actually hits the override button, which was clearly marked with italic letters next to it. So the doors begin to open, and through the gap you see that the elevator has stopped about a meter below the red carpeted floor level. Oh no, wait a minute. The floor is actually moving. In slow motion, a wave of viscous red fluid cascades into the elevator compartment, covering you up to your waist. It smells of strawberry flavouring. Outside, the huge lobby area is awash with it. The guiding arrow appears, pointing straight ahead. Your destination says is subsector K15. What do you do?
Solomon would like to taste the viscous substance.
You, for some reason, your body recognizes this as the red dessert topping.
Ooh.
I prefer purple dessert topping personally.
Oh. Well, so sorry. In front of us now, the doors are open, and can we see a gap?
Can we climb up?
Yeah, can we climb up through a gap, or is there no gap?
Yeah. So it's about waist high above you, and you can climb up through.
Yeah,
through
Leslie
the gap.
climbs out into the foyer or whatever it is.
Okay. I guess we all attempt to, or at least Solomon does as well.
So,
Norman, are you coming?
I can climb after you, Roz.
Oh god, you're on and thing again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry, Roz. Maybe Roz, you should go first. I mean,
Don't be silly. Roz may require assistance, and Leslie already up on the thing, like puts a hand out as though to say, like, "Here, Roz, I'll help you."
Roz takes your hand. Thank you, citizen.
could you maybe help me up, please?
No, I'm tending to Roz. Leslie turns around.
Okay, well, Solomon will try to scramble up himself then.
As you get up there, you see bits of furniture floating around, and you can see other clones in the distance trying to wade through this red dessert topping. You hear the computer actually talking to some clones further down the corridor, explaining that there's been some terrorist action in the area that's breached a massive vat of the dessert topping, and it's flooded sector high. And you can see all around it's about 1 meter deep. Everywhere.
So where's our
Big arrow point.
Yeah,
it's pointing further down the corridor.
Oh, I might have lost you.
I did too.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, Adam, we've lost you. I can see you're talking, but oh, we lost you for a while there.
Can you hear me now?
Oh god.
And again.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me now? Hello? 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 Hello?
There you are. Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yay. So the arrow's pointing down the corridor. And yeah, you quickly discover it's quite hard.
Oh no. Okay. It's quite hard. We discovered it's quite hard.
It's quite hard going. It's a meter deep, quite thick red dessert sauce.
Leslie, you seem to be the most enthusiastic. Why don't you lead the way?
Because I'm not wearing body armor.
Oh, well, I mean,
I'm
I
a
guess-
squishy meat bag. You're a big metal man. You go first.
okay. Well, Solomon will take the lead, following the cues of the arrow that he can see.
Okay. And yeah, this is really,
Leading.
really hard going. Your body armor is starting to clog up with the stuff.
What can Leslie see around them?
Mostly the arrow telling you where to go, but in other places you can see there's a desk is floating close by.
Leslie would like to board the desk.
Oh, okay. And you also see barrels and things like that floating past. So give me a roll for trying to board the desk.
Leslie would like to. I suppose it's just a. She'd like to do a little violent throw of herself themselves, I should say, onto the desk.
Okay.
So that'll be 2 as they violently throw themselves onto the desk and acquire a new item.
Where's your new item? What new item?
Yeah, ignore that. I think somehow I've when you're making your own dice with symbols, I think you're supposed to put titles in for the other faces, and I clearly missed some.
But I would like items.
If you would like an item, speak to the computer. He's there to help you. Computer is your friend.
I'm alright.
So with one success, I would say that you land on the desk, but then it flips over, and you're completely submerged under the
goo.
Yeah. There are a few other clones wandering around, trying to collect belongings as well and things like that.
Excuse me, DM.
Yes.
Can I see something to grappling hook to?
Oh yeah. Well, there's all the barrels and furniture floating around. The ceilings are quite low on this corridor, and there are various cameras and vents and fluorescent lighting.
Are we stood in the pudding right now?
Yeah, it's about 1 meter deep.
Right, okay.
Leslie would like to try and gather enough barrels together for everyone to ride in.
Okay.
And then say, if we get in the barrels and hold on to them and each other, and I have a mop that you can hold on to and so forth, and then you with the gun shoot the end of the hallway, maybe we can all go to the end that way. Together. In the goo.
Solomon shrugs in ascension.
So
Yes,
your plan
yes,
is to get in the barrels, shoot the grapple gun down.
Everyone, yeah, like lash the barrels together,
Yep.
and then use the grapple gun rather than an oar to propel us to where we want to go.
Okay. What are you going to lash them together with?
I thought we'd just sort of, because it's not going to be terribly quick, so I thought we either hold them or like I have a mop that then like Roz could hold on to the end of my mop while I hold on to it, and we all have mops.
Like rowing,
yeah.
like a rowing boat.
No, not quite.
No.
Because we're using the grappling gun instead of a.
All right, yeah, I get you. So you're holding onto the mops to
So
hold
we're
everything.
using the
Yeah, I
mops
get
to
you. I
hold
get
on
you.
to, to create a single sort of raft like.
Bind us together.
Exactly.
Okay, so give me a roll, and because you're working together, we'll say one success
Leslie's
this
gonna
time.
roll chutzpah and bluff, because not only have they said it with their megaphone to make themselves sound more authoritative, but also they have no fucking idea what they're talking about. This is just pure shit that they're chatting. They're hoping works.
Okay.
So that's gonna be plus
depending
7.
on how well this is, some other clones might come and help. Depending.
Oh dear. Well, yeah.
So what's?
We're just gonna do it.
DM, and am I not the one that's grappling gun?
Oh, we'll get to your grapple in a minute.
So
We have to all get into
Leslie
barrels
is trying to instruct everyone with their chutzpah.
That's 3 successes.
Oh yes. So yes, you've managed to convince some nearby clones who were making themselves look busy and trying to avoid your eye, but the megaphone, makes them it makes them jump.
Leslie is
and
mad with power.
And they push some barrels over to you, and you all manage to climb in these barrels, bobbing around in the red stuff.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Well, Norman, maybe you should fire that grappling gun then.
Okay.
So further down the corridor, there are several doors on the left and right, so they would probably make good targets to try and grapple and pull yourself closer.
Yeah, seems like a plan then, doesn't it? I will grapple down to those.
So you give me a roll to see how accurate your shot was.
I will use
Mechanic guns.
Can I use mechanics for the workings of a grappling gun and the mechanics of arcing the shot over, of making the range on something that clearly will not shoot very well?
Mechanics and what? Sorry.
Guns.
Yes.
For it is a gun.
Yes.
Unless you are saying it is alpha complex equipment and I can use +4.
No. I would say guns and either violence or mechanics.
Well, then mechanics it is then. So that is +4. So I roll 4.
4 dice, yes.
It says new item. on
No,
that.
you get
Oh.
more than that. Because you get a +2 for mechanics on the grappling gun.
So it
Oh.
it succeeds, and the grappling gun goes flying.
According to Alex, I should have rolled a +6.
But it
And-
succeeded anyway.
I know, but I couldn't
Mechanics
get that.
and guns.
'Cause he's
That's
gonna find.
Because he's got the grappling gun.
right.
+2 to mechanics.
Okay.
I'd
well.
like
It
to re-roll it.
no. It succeeds, and it goes
Feel like I should.
goes flying down the corridor.
I'm holding on to it.
Like a laser-guided missile straight to the door, and just as it reaches its targets, a poor clone in a red jumpsuit steps out just
I'll yell, "Drop that!"
and it pierces straight through his head, killing him on the spot.
Oh no.
But you've got a very You've got a very good grip on him. Another red clone comes out from the door behind him and goes, "Billy, no!"
Listen, you'll have time for that later. Just hold on to him so cool.
So the rope starts to retract and you start travelling down the corridor. You can see some names above the different doors as you're travelling around. One says Red Level Dormitory, the one that the clone had just come out of. Across from there is a troubleshooter break room, it says. And then one door down from that is a production, logistics and commissionary office. And then opposite that one on the other side again is a restroom. A restroom.
Leslie consults their cortex
Yep.
to remind themselves of the room name of where the plug is. The instruction we were given when we got to Sector Hall, we were meant to go.
Yes.
somewhere.
You are to make yourself to Sector Hoy,
Yes.
and that the arrows are actually
subsector K14 or something.
subsector. Let me look
I
at
wrote
mine.
down subsector and then stopped writing.
I think it was K15.
K17, 15.
For that place. Well, where's the arrow pointing now?
Yeah, where's
Yeah,
arrow
the
pointing? Where's
yellow
that?
arrow is pointing further down the corridor. It's not actually.
K9.
Yes, subsector K15. Ros reminds you, idiots.
K15. Listen, Roz, I don't see you coming up with ideas.
Just stop being rude to her.
Right. Can you reload the gun, gunman? Oh, of course the names are printed. Can you reload the gun, Norman?
I don't know why you would say it like that. Yeah,
You're a man.
it's a gun. There's no reason why I can't.
So that the grappling hook is currently embedded in a clone's head, with someone weeping next to them.
Sorry about that.
Do we have that back?
What did you say?
I don't need to though. Can I not use it to pull us along?
No, we're there. We're at
Yeah,
the
you've floated
front.
you've floated up to the.
Right. Yeah. And then I will. I'll reload my gun.
So
it winds in, so I mean.
yeah, so the skull of this poor clone just kind of cracks open as your grappling hook returns back to where it goes, and this poor clone vomits on his friend.
Leslie gives a sheepish thumbs up.
And he screams, "Computer! Computer! Treason!"
Happiness is mandatory.
And then the computer, yes, how can I help you there, Brian? What's happened? They killed Billy by these treasonous infrareds.
This clone is crying, and happiness is mandatory, friend computer.
Good, but Brian, why have you taken your happy pill today, Brian? Brian's really upset and no, I haven't. They've killed Billy. And do you have any evidence for this, Brian?
I am currently holding Billy's skull.
That doesn't mean you killed him.
Yes, Solomon. What's taken place here? It appears Billy's.
You're the traitor,
Who is the traitor?
Solomon.
I am no traitor. I have had no part apart from being in this barrel.
Clearly, what I think has happened here, friend computer, and using the megaphone again because Leslie's obsessed with it, is that this clone here, Billy, did you say? Brian is trying to cover up his crimes for not taking his happy pill in strict disobedience to your glorious rules by murdering his friend and trying to pin it on us who are only trying to serve you. Sorry, that'll be a chutzpah bluff.
Yes, roll for it.
Oh, nothing happened. Oh, there we go.
2 successes. Brian's brains get blown out.
Okay.
Praise be to friend computer.
Yes,
all
we love
praise.
you, computer. Mm.
Good. I have my eyes on you. All have a treason star. It's very unusual.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, friend computer. You are wise.
I have 2 now.
Oh dear.
I
Unless
feel like we didn't do anything wrong. You prick, computer.
Don't. Well, Solomon
gonna do?
Solomon lets go of the part of whatever was holding him to the barrel.
Solomon and Leslie also releases themselves from
we just let him
Norman in
drift
it.
off.
Norman suddenly has a feeling of being disorientated, and then you turn around and you see your friends further down the corridor bobbing around in their barrels.
Look at the way these two have let me go, friend computer.
And your previous clone is had its head removed inside one of the barrels.
Sweet, so I'm no treason stars now.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
all is forgiven. Your new clone, all is forgiven.
Now I will look sideways at Solomon and Leslie.
Well, I don't trust you.
Feels like
Roz using her mop guides herself and catches up with Norman at the end of the corridor. Go on.
Can Leslie consult their cerebral cortex
Yes.
and see if there's any disadvantage to killing oneself to free themselves of treason stars? Is the higher your clone number a status thing? Like why would you not just immediately kill yourself upon receiving a single treason star? Is there a disadvantage?
Yeah, you find out in your Alphapedia that clones are a precious resource, and that destroying Alpha Complex resources is treasonous, and therefore destroying your own clone would bring the attention of the computer, and you would have to answer for that.
But technically,
but
Norman,
pissing
Norman
the
didn't.
computer off enough to destroy you.
Yeah, and you know that only each
Loophole, bitches.
each clone only has 6 clones, unless you're of higher security.
Oh.
So one step closer to the grave.
Yep.
Right. Leslie looks around now that they're further down the corridor. What do they see?
So down at the end of the corridor is a T-junction, and Roz and the arrow is pointing left. But Roz suggests that you can catch up on some time, and there's a shortcut off to the right.
That doesn't make any sense. It's a T-junction. Why would there be a shortcut to the right if it's telling me to go left?
Well, you don't know what comes after the T-junction.
Well, friend computer clearly does.
So, well, Roz says, "Look, we can save some time. Go right, and we just get this bloody mission over and done with."
Well, I really think we should follow our arrow. Is the arrow pointing
the other way?
The other way. Friend computer, we require your assistance.
The computer pops down. Yes, how can I be of assistance?
Well, there seems to be a contradiction in your orders and Roz's orders, and I require your assistance.
Yes, Roz, you're in command here. What's going on? And Roz explains. Yes, they were trying to disobey my orders. I told them to follow your arrow to the left, but they just kept trying to go down to the right.
Shitty bitch.
What? That is not true. She asked.
Does my cerebral cortex have a recording function? Can I show the receipts?
Yes, all your do if you would need to activate that at any time.
With some sort of roll, or
yes,
can I
if you look in your Alphapedia, it tells you that you must pull your right earlobe to activate.
I see. Leslie yanks on her right earlobe in order to grass Roz.
Oh no, that's to activate the recording. It's not recording.
Oh, you have to have already been recording.
Right.
But the computer is watching all the time, so that it's possible that the computer.
Computer.
Yes.
If you were perhaps just humbly to suggest that you may check the recording from here from a minute ago, you may see.
We greatly dispute that account of the actions which have taken place here.
My time is precious. You have a mission to do. Roz is your commanding officer. You will receive minus 30 XP points. Roz, you receive 30 XP points for your vigilance and attention to detail here. Computer out.
Leslie tugs on her right ear, or their right ear again, just to start things going.
Okay, so you're recording.
Yeah.
Right, Roz. What are your orders?
Follow me. Follow the yellow star.
Okay.
So you
just watches and follows.
You slowly make your way down the corridor, and then it eventually opens out into like a large canteen. And you see islands of what look like congealed breakfast mix floating serenely between the countertops that protrude above the low waves of the liquid. High above, sparks flicker between shattered lighting fixtures hanging from the vaulted ceilings. Then there's a yell of, "Ahoy there, Sector! Turrets amidship on the scurvy bowport! Overclock the mainscale and prepare to be motherboarded." 5 people row into.
What are you talking about?
5 people row into view, paddling a long table with sheets tied to its legs. A black flag with a skull dangles limply from one of its inverted table legs.
Well.
What do you want to do about that?
Oh. Leslie?
Fuck off.
No, you fuck off!
No, you fuck off. We're on a mission for friend computer. You're playing dress up. This place has been flooded for 10 minutes. Get back to work. Using Leslie's intimidate.
Oh, right. Okay, go for it.
That is actually a cheeky +10. And yet I get 1 success.
They react to that and draw weapons.
Oh. Solomon will stand in front. There's been a bit of a
I will
misunderstanding.
skull fuck one with my grappling gun.
Jesus. There's been
The
a
captain guy.
no, a bit of
Straight away before anybody says anything, pop.
Solomon looks
Okay.
helpless and just watches.
Right, roll the thing.
Roll for it.
I definitely think this one could be violence.
Definitely.
I think this
guns.
is just a firm violence action.
Right, I popped him. Get it on.
Okay,
You got one success.
one success.
That's a
It
success.
it misses him, but rams straight into their table stroke pirate ship that they've
How
constructed.
is one success not a success?
Because it's like a DC,
I
you've got to have more
don't-
than one success.
Don't take anything off it. It's a success. That's why it's called a success. I have succeeded.
But you got one success point out of how many necessary.
Yes,
In fact,
depends
this
on
time-
how hard the thing you're trying to do.
You're basically trying to succeed.
Well,
with
I
so
was
many
trying
times.
to tricky grappling shot along a corridor, and that was much easier than popping this guy in front of me.
Well, you
Right,
actually
so the computer?
you actually did miss the. You only got one success.
Yeah, you
it
missed the
wasn't,
door. You brained a guy.
And-
Yeah,
You
that's
happened
true.
to kill him.
and a computer symbol.
That's not because I failed. That was because he walked in.
You
front
should
of
have
me.
aimed for the.
That is not-
Leslie sees that you
that is
missed
not-
and says you should have aimed for the
You
door.
didn't-
Irrespective of my actions.
You
him
didn't
walking.
succeed well enough.
He wasn't there. I shot. He moved in. He got shot.
That was the
Therefore,
computer symbol.
I did not shoot him.
That defense holds up in court well.
It looks like we've got a fight, so let's learn the fighting rules here. So I will say that the grappling hook is slowly pulling their table towards you, and they shout, "Arr, prepare to be boarded." Like that's how do we do this?
Why
they
couldn't
going
it
to-
have missed and comically killed somebody random like it did last time?
Right,
Leslie just sort of
This is what
gestures
happens
to the
when you
small
use
barrel that they're
random
in.
storytelling
like,
mechanic to tell a story.
I've got to deal. I got to deal.
This is what happens. This is why rules are followed.
Oh, shut up, John!
Shut up.
Right, you
This
should.
is
Play
the
the
issue
fucking
with
game.
critical fails.
You've
Play
just
the fucking game.
received for. Friend computer comes out and tells Solomon to get on with the mission and blows his brains out for being
Oh, no.
moaning.
Yeah, Solomon, get on with the mission, you bitch.
Oh,
Too late. DM said it.
I'm dead. And back, I assume. Well, I guess I'll wipe those treason stars out.
It was supposed to be
Whoa.
Norman, but it's more funny that I got it wrong.
Oh no! Look at clone.
Yeah,
Two.
I knew that.
I didn't realize. I just heard you say you had died. I was like, oh. Okay, well,
You
clone two.
you have 4. You should have received 4 action cards.
Yeah.
So
Now look at these.
yes, and I'm gonna. So there are 2 kinds of action cards: actions and reactions. Action cards have an action order number on them, which shows who goes first. The higher the number, the better. And reactions have a arrow symbol on them inside a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So how this works is I start counting to 10, and all the players must have an action or reaction card, or an equipment card or a mutant power card face down in front of them before I reach 5. If not, they don't get to do anything this turn. So I think how
How
this.
do I put it face down on roll 20?
So yeah, can you?
I also.
I see. Oh, I see what's happened. I
Three
should be able to
cards.
put it right in front of me
Yeah.
by pulling it out of my deck.
Oh.
I only.
So now it's on the board.
So the
Yeah,
high.
you only have 3.
The higher the number, so I will then start counting down from 10, and when I reach your number of the action that you've chosen, you get to go, and you're allowed to bluff, and say that you've got an action number that you don't actually have. But if other players are allowed to call your bluff, and I think there are consequences to if you get caught. Let me have a look.
I think Judd and I were saying that we only have 3 cards.
It says 4, but I only see.
Yeah, same.
I've tried to move them. I don't seem to have 2 of one.
I can't. So I put the thing face down on the deck now, but I can't see.
Right click and flip
I've got to
card.
go. Oh, look at you! What a ledge!
and you can also take it back.
Oh yes, take a card. Oh, look at that. I'm empty. All right.
So
Neat.
the reaction with the circle and the arrow,
Yeah.
those are played as reactions, like you would in D&D, or
I am gonna read the rules and explain that to you. I'm just gonna send
Okay.
another card to Judd because he seems to for some
I
strange.
need another one as well.
You need one.
How many should we have?
You should have 4.
4, yeah.
I have 4.
Okay, we have 3. I wonder if we got 2 of one and it overrode.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I only. Yep, there we go. Now I've got 4. Ooh, thank you.
You got that. So,
Yep.
so we got to work out the order that people do. So I count down. Blah blah blah. When a player declares that they've reached their action order number, they can do one of 3 things. Pick up a card and put it back in their hand, then take a basic action. That's any normal action using a stat and skill combo. They can play the action, equipment or mutant power card they have face down in front of them. Follow the instructions on the card. Action cards and some equipment cards are discarded after use. Mutant power cards are only shown to the GM, not to everyone. Or you can discard the card they use for initiative, take a basic action, and add 1 extra dice to their node. Yep. So
sure.
you pick a card. So I'll go through that. Pick up a card and put it back in their hand. Then take a basic action. That's any normal action using a stat and skill combo, just like you've been doing all game. Yep.
Okay.
So this you choose one of these 3 when it gets to you. When I count down, play the action, equipment or mutant card they have face down in front of them. Follow the instructions on the card. Action cards and some equipment cards are discarded after use. Mutant power cards are only shown to the GM, not to everyone. And then the final thing you could do is discard the card they use for initiative, take a basic action, and add 1 extra dice to their node. So basically, you can put down a card, and then when I get to that number of the action or the action you're bluffing number, you can keep that card and do a normal action using a stat and skill combo. Discard the card and you get an extra dice, or actually do what it says on the card. Is your 3 choices.
Okay.
Yep. So you've chosen your card, and then I start counting down from 10.
Oh, so I need to put one out now.
Yeah. So put one out.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Okay, mine's out.
Okay, I'll put that.
If it has a 0, can I use it at any time?
Yeah, I don't know what the zeros are. Those. I mean, I don't want to give away what I've got.
Yeah. So 0 is you would probably definitely have to bluff that you've got a different number.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe while we're learning the game, maybe not bluff.
Sure.
It'd mean me getting the other rule book out and looking up the challenging rule, which I can't be bothered doing.
Okay,
we
my
could-
card's here.
Or I could just blow your head off if you get caught or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The pirates go. So.
What's my card again? How do I look at my card?
So the first pirate is going to try and jump aboard and land on Leslie. And they
But on me, on top of me.
Yes, they're going to try and
All right.
grapple. And they get a +3 to their combat. So you he lands on you. And starts to grapple and telling you all about how historically correct all this is. Where did we get to? 6, 5, 4.
I told someone in the face.
So that's
Pirate guy.
Leslie. You're going. So what are you doing?
What? Who? What?
I'm not
No,
going.
sorry, I keep getting everyone's name. Solomon.
Norman. Everyone.
So what are you doing, Norman?
I am gonna take my mop and I'm gonna mop at his feet like a tool. And
Wait,
like
like
the mop
you're a
is
tool?
I'm a tool.
Okay.
And obviously, it's short, so I can do that in the confined space that we're in.
Yeah.
Shut up, baby. I'm not a tool.
But you are.
Now I'm getting bullied. Thank you. So yeah, and I will try and trip him into the jam.
Yep, roll for it.
So while he's doing that, he's going because his card was a 3, right?
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he said it was a 4.
4.
4.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know what number we're at. Okay.
Crackers.
Have you rolled?
No. This card says something about. Can I look at this card?
Yeah, you're.
Right-click and
So
select.
one of the options is that you can just use the card. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, so it
How'd
says
you-
something on it, does it?
Yeah.
How'd you make it bigger?
Everything looks like a nail.
You look like a nail.
Oh, trying to tell me to edit my token. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think you have to see it bigger. You have to put it back in your deck,
I'm just gonna zoom in on it.
or that. Oh, that doesn't look as good. Oh, I didn't mean
Whoa!
to. Move. Why?
I can see it. There you go. I get to add something if I.
You spot a tool that's useful to this action. Describe it. GM has veto over your description. The tool adds +1 dice so long as it's useful and intact. If the GM is particularly pleased by your description, it adds 2 dice this round, +1 dice thereafter. So what do you find?
I have found my mop.
Okay.
My shortened mop.
Okay.
The broken end.
With the
So
broken
I,
end.
No, it's not a broken end. It's shortened, so that I may use it in a more confined space.
Custom-
Okay.
custom
Okay.
mop.
I get you.
And that's why I can use it here. And I'm gonna whip it between his legs and like lever a little bit and trip him into the shit.
Okay, I'll give you 2 extra dice for that
Yeah,
description.
I thought you might. Now I've got to that'll be violence plus
Most definitely.
engineer. So that'll be.
Engineer?
I am engineering a lever to trip him over.
I don't think so.
Sense. You know it makes sense.
I don't think so.
You full of shit, man.
Melee or throw or athletics. You choose. If you
Nah,
can.
man, I'm not fighting. I am levering.
You are not engineering.
It's an engineer. It's a lever issue. I'm using fulcrums, pivots, and weights to get the best lever action. It's an engineer.
No.
DM says no.
Science. Because I am using levers, and levers are math, which is science.
Well, there's a physics one.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Can I use science? Because levers are a science thing.
No, you've taken too long. Pirates.
Oh, this game is gay as fuck. I don't mean that
Hello.
in the way that you two are gay. I mean that in the schoolyard disnormal way.
I take exception to the use of the word in that particular context, sir.
I realised I had said it before I realised who I was talking to.
I think you just shouldn't say it regardless of who you're talking to.
No, I shouldn't. Normally I don't. But I am
What an
stressed
example
because
you've
of this
set for your lovely daughter.
bad game. She is asleep, dear.
I thought you just said bad gay. I was like, that's even worse.
No! Please stop making it worse.
Right, you're done.
Yeah, you took
lost your turn.
you were hesitating far too much.
I
The
was not
pirate
hesitating.
the
I was
pirate-
clarifying rules with the DM.
No, you're arguing.
the
I
pirates
wasn't arguing. I was trying to clarify. Excuse me, DM. I don't like this.
the pirate spins the mop around and rams it into your eye. You are now maimed with a mop sticking in your head.
How does that even work? Why am I getting punished?
You took far too long. You were arguing too
I was
much.
clarifying the rules.
Let's make this initiative a bit easier. Let's just go around in a circle. Josh, you're up next. What are you doing?
Okay. Well, all my cards. I mean, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but they're all zeros. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm changing the initiative rules. We'll just go around in a circle. So you're next.
Okay,
So
hold
what do you want to do? Do you want to discard one? Do you want to use what it says, or just do a normal and keep your card?
I would like to. Well, I'd like to discard one of my cards.
Okay.
So what does that? I discard.
So
Yeah,
that
get rid
means
of it. There you
you
go.
get an extra dice, but you don't get to do what it says on the
Right,
card.
that's fine. Okay, I'll get rid of the one that's I've just put out on the table. This one here, I don't want anymore. And I. Oh, I didn't. I don't have anything, do I? What do I have in my possession right now? I've got the body armor,
Yep,
and
you got the body
I've
armor.
got. I'm just gonna throw my stick at him.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for that, but I'm doing it anyway. So that will be violence throw.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
plus
quick
7.
thinking. 7.
7.
Do it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that completely misses, and your mop goes flying and disappears into the red goo.
Yo. Oh, I guess that's my turn then.
What's happened to my card? Has someone stolen it?
Alex, you're up next.
Right. Something's happened. My card's disappeared off the thing, but I was going to discard it anyway and just
Alright,
take
okay.
a +1. Yeah, it's not that one. That one must be Josh's.
This was the one I discarded.
Leslie is going to put the megaphone right in the pirate's ear and scream again, trying to use chutzpah and intimidate. I said, "Fuck off!"
I love it.
Wow.
Do it. You completely pop his eardrum and his other ear, his ears start to bleed, and yeah, all the other pirates momentarily pause, so they're going to skip a go. Back round to you, Judd. So
I don't want to do anything because I get punished again. Can I shoot the grappling hook again?
Yes.
I'll just be back in a second.
Okay.
Then I wish to do that.
So violence and guns, 3 dice.
Yeah, and I want to do it. Yeah. So
Are you gonna
roll 3 dice.
are you gonna discard a card to get an extra dice?
Oh yeah,
Or...
I can do that.
Yep.
Don't
So far.
I'll discard that one.
Okay.
I don't know where to put it.
Well, I'll take it.
Right. How does this fail again?
So 2 successes. I would say at point blank range, you do hit one of the pirates full on in the chest, and he goes flying off the back of their little pirate ship they've made. Arr, you bastard! And yeah, your grappling hook's still attached though.
Right. Start pulling it towards me for the next turn.
Okay, so has Josh disappeared?
Josh is still elsewhere.
Judd, do you want to take a turn?
Judd did take a turn.
Sorry, Alex.
Sorry, I'm Alex.
Yep.
I should probably take a turn.
Yep.
Alex is going to, or Leslie is going to utilize a card, a real card. It's called. Let me see if I can flip it. Flip, and I can't resize it. It's called Improvised Defenses.
Okay.
And basically, let me just take it back into my thing and then open it up and read it. You find a piece of armor or clothing that's helpful to your current situation. Describe what you find. GM has veto over my description. You get +1 dice so long as it's useful and intact. If the GM is particularly pleased, it adds +2 this round and +1 thereafter. So Leslie is going to see, because we're in this canteen area, it's just going to see like a beautiful hammered copper gorgeous cooking pot that they are going to use in short order as a helmet.
Excellent. Have 2 dice.
Excellent, thank you. I will. I suppose I don't really have anything to roll since I'm defending.
Well, yeah, I
myself.
guess you need to grab it and pop it on your head. I would say with
Fair
all
enough.
this fighting
So
going
do,
on. But if this
it.
is successful, we'll say that you are harder to hit and injure.
So I guess to pop it on my head, I will pluck it from the goo, and I will throw it onto my head.
Okay.
So and I have +2
violence and throw, I would say.
I guess violence, yeah. So violence and throw, so that's +4.
Yeah. So, you succeed. You've got a bucket full of red dessert topping dripping down you, but you.
That's okay. I'd already fallen in, so I'm pretty sticky.
Yeah.
I'm not fussed.
Is Josh back?
Hello, I just got back. Yeah.
Yep. Take a round.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. I would like to play this card. Sorry, this one over here, if you can't see it.
What does it say?
You might need to make it bigger again. I don't know how.
I've.
Basically, it says something goes way better than expected.
Oh right. Okay. Let
Um,
me have a read of it. The collateral damage one.
no. The critical success one.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that was slightly off my screen.
Oh,
Let's
sorry.
have a look. Something goes way better than expected. GM's time to shine. Oh right. Okay.
So I don't know what I'm trying to do, though. I'm guessing I have to decide what I'm actually doing to make this happen.
No,
Are
no.
you doing it?
Yeah. So when it says GM
Okay,
times to
you do it.
shine, that's where I take over. But like you said,
Oh
it
my
has to
God.
be something that goes your way. So if we remember Judd's Norman's grappling hook is still embedded into the chest of
Oh, I
of
missed that part. Right. Okay.
of one of the guys below. But the leader, infrared beard, he's called. Stop this! Arr, you've bested us! Arr,
Oh.
we surrender.
And would you say that I am the best person here?
Arr,
For,
ya, ye be
you know,
ye be bested us,
yes.
so you have.
Thank you. Why would you attack us?
Arr, it's a bit of a giggle, isn't it?
Excuse me, friend computer.
Yes, Solomon.
These people. I'm Norman. But,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's good to know that you know your name. I was only testing.
These people have intentionally delayed our pass.
And attempted to destroy clone property.
Yeah, and Leslie has the video evidence to prove it.
And your friend computer.
Audio, I think.
Oh, send that straight over.
I consult Alphapedia on how I can upload my security recording to the friend computer cloud.
Stick your finger in your right ear and wiggle it around. Yep. Thank you for the footage there, Solomon. However, it seems to just a red haze of goo. I can see a bucket being poured over your head. Care to explain what happened?
Is there anything that you could see, friend computer, that happened before I put a bucket over my head?
As that's when the fight started.
As that's when the fight ended.
Oh yeah, I mean that was referring to the fight started.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I get what you mean though.
Yeah. Or perhaps even in audio form.
In audio where he says, "We'll come and get you."
Yes. Rewinding now. Yes. Infrared beard. Interesting name. And all of a sudden, beneath their boat, something opens, and their boat and all the pirates get sucked down into a hole, and then with a plop, it shuts. Thank you for bringing this to my.
Seemed treasonous to me.
Yes. Remove all your treason stars, and your treason stars are vanished. And 2 XP points to you all. Well done.
2 what XP?
2 XP.
2. Just 2.
Just 2? Nobody buys just 2.
I'm sorry, are you disagreeing with the computer's decision?
Oh no, I'm sorry, friend computer. It was a reference to Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Friend computer. All this jam.
If the film The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was to exist, how do you know of such film before Alpha Complex?
I only know what I'm permitted to know, friend computer.
Are you a member of a secret society?
No.
Are you a
The chocolate
communist?
factory.
A communist? No,
Oh.
friend computer. I am not a communist. What's a communist?
He's a bit of a suck up at times. He could be a communist, trying to share all the goods.
Friend computer, I object to this particular clone's knowledge of what a communist is. Perhaps he is one.
Yes.
Computer, we were given basic knowledge on so that we could know when to spot them.
Communism and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, if they do indeed exist, are restricted information. 2 treason stars, each of you. Very worried about you two. Now get on with your mission.
Yes, you.
Yes, Solomon, it was you. Can we confirm that Solomon has received these treasons?
That was Norman and Leslie.
Bastards trying to get me in trouble.
Excuse me, friend computer. Leslie keeps trying to knob everybody in. I believe that this is not being helpful, but in fact interfering with our mission, and therefore she's treasonous.
Yes, I agree. This is
And
taking far too long.
Roz, because she's constantly sucking up to Roz. Or they are constantly sucking up to Roz. It's quite irritating, in fact.
That sounds rather disrespectful, if you ask me.
Yeah, but I said it in the happiest of tones.
Guys,
I didn't
can we
say it
just
wasn't
work
happy.
together. You know, I think everything will go a lot better if we just work together.
The friend computer will be sending you all corrective helmets. They will be delivered shortly.
Helmets.
Get back on with the mission.
I haven't worn a helmet since I was a child.
Well,
I was never a child. I was a clone. But,
okay, where's the arrow pointing now?
Yes, so the arrow is pointing further down a darkened corridor. Do you follow?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Carefully and timidly.
The walls begin to narrow down here, and the ceiling is much lower, and more wiring above you has been exposed, and all around you, panels and lighting is crackling and starting to erode where the red dessert topping has been washing up against it. After another few minutes going down this passage, it opens into a circular room with a wide spiral staircase ascending upwards. A thick stream of red dessert topping pours down into this area from above. Your cerebral cortex pings gently to let you know you've arrived, but there is no sign of a plug.
I assume the plug is up the stairs.
Yeah, I it's the plug for the jam machine, and we set the jam machine.
Jam machine.
So as you investigate, you can see the spiral staircase goes up, but also you notice that it actually goes down as well underneath the surface of the red dessert topping.
Well, I would say that.
I'd say we try up first, so I'm.
But it's easier to go up, so up is a good idea.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So let's go up first.
As you go up the stairs, you get a much better bird's eye view of the room below you, and down below the red source, you can see the plug beneath the surface.
Oh, down.
I will dive for the plug.
All right. Okay. Give me a roll for that.
Ooh.
Using my knowledge of the Alpha Complex diving procedures that I remember with my brain.
That's pretty good.
I will perform the best on that.
Please let him have that.
I will say that your knowledge of the Alpha Complex and the consistency of the red dessert topping, you know the exact angle, or hopefully you know the exact angle to dive successfully through the viscous material.
Oh, I didn't roll then. 3 successes. Is that enough?
Go on.
That is enough. You beautifully swan dive beneath the surface and descend towards the plug underneath. And as you go down, you can see that actually it's not an electrical plug. It actually is a plug.
Excellent.
Weren't our orders to replace this plug straight away, though? Do I not need to...
I assume. Well, no, it just said to unplug it and then replug it. So I assume what will happen. Sorry.
some time will pass.
I assume what will happen is shouting to you while you're on the water.
So yeah,
we will drain the goo and then put it back.
Okay, so I will hold on to the plug, and with my grappling hook, I will back up to, to use the mechanics of the grappling hook and my
Gun?
sheer
Has to be a stat.
operation knowledge.
all right,
as I
okay,
am
yeah.
operating the grappling hook in the manner it is meant to be used,
Hmm.
and I am using that as a mechanical advantage.
Go on then. I agree with you this time. Oh yes, so the plug starts to come undone and liquid starts to be sucked down, but as you can see the computer symbol comes up, which means something bad is about to happen, and a large metal tentacle slams the plug shut. You continue. Your arm gets ripped out of its socket, Judd, and you continue up to the surface. Mark.
So now you've got. Well, he's already got a bloody mop in his head.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, so
he was already maimed.
yeah, you were maimed, so that takes you up to the level of dead. So your clone has now died, and your new clone will be delivered shortly. But the 2 remaining clones, Leslie and Solomon, you see a large octopus squid like robot start to rise out of the red goo, and Solomon Norman, your new clone has arrived on the top of the stairs.
Oh, hi, Norman. Oh, hi, Mark.
I can't remember what number clone are you on, Judd?
4.
4. Oh god.
My happiness is now no longer mandatory.
Clone 4.
Fuck the Alpha complex.
Oh no! Don't do that.
A large hammer comes out of the ceiling and squashes you dead for that. You're
Brilliant.
now on clone number 5. So yes, this large squid type robot is coming to the surface, and let's begin with initiative. So it reaches out and wraps one of its tentacles around Leslie and electrocutes you.
Great.
It slams your body against the wall, and the staircase starts to shake. Some rubble wedges fall from above, and yeah, this electrical pulse goes through your body. You feel a wave of something coursing through you, something strange, something powerful. You decide to keep this information to yourself.
Sexual.
And I will send this over to you, Josh. Give me a second.
To me.
We'll send it
Sorry,
send it to
I
Alex.
keep getting everyone's
Alex?
name. Yes,
Jesus.
sorry.
Excuse me, friend computer. Octopus is damaging Alpha complex.
Oh, interesting.
Resources.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happens if you ask the
Please.
computer?
Kill it for us, or we will die and waste even more resources.
Friend Solomon, good to see you back. Clone number 5, eh? Yes, sir. Always.
Solomon, clone number 5.
No. Other one.
Ugh.
Norman.
Norman, clone number 5, always here to help. I'm going to patch you straight through to one of our crack defense teams. I'll patch you straight through.
Please hold.
Please hold. And there's some.
It's always the girl from Ipanema.
Yep,
So-
it is.
Solomon, you go.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, he actually means me now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to. Wait, is there a way for me to draw a new card? I forgot what the options were.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'll send you one over. Yeah.
Okay.
You should always have 4. So if you haven't got enough, just
Oh,
let
I've
me
only
know.
got 2, so I need 2 more.
Okay.
Oh, that's good because I have these 2 are bad. Okay, what is this? Oh. Well, I don't really have any items on me, do I? There's.
You have a mop.
No, I threw it.
Oh yeah. No, you can
You
no.
have once again got rid of your alpha complex.
I know. Shush. Nobody. It was not noticed by computer at the time. What are the stairs made of that we're standing on? Are we still standing on the stairs? Or are we
So yeah, all 3 of you actually. Oh no, who got grabbed? It was Alex's character, wasn't it? So
Me.
he's been. Yeah, you're all of you are still on the top, but he got slammed against the wall.
Okay.
So yeah, it's metal, a metal staircase.
Okay. Does it have banisters? How? Like, I want to rip a banister off. But it's metal. I can't really rip it with my bare hands.
Well, I guess you could try. It's
I mean, I've not got anything else. Like, I wanted to throw something again. I'm
Throw yourself.
throw myself.
sacrifice yourself for alpha complex.
No, just go get it. Just go grab it.
Go grab what? The monster?
Yeah.
The robot? Do you know what? No, because that's not what my character would do. I would like to try and rip a piece of metal of any sort, even if it's cladding, whatever it is, from the stairs.
Okay, and how are you going to do that? Convince me.
Oh God.
Are we talking violence and?
Oh yes, no, we're talking violence, and I suppose we're talking.
Melee?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it would have to be. Yeah, that makes sense.
8 dice for
Okay.
you. That's
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Okay.
clearly Solomon's a badass.
Try and rip off the bloody metal. Give me a weapon. No. Fuck it all.
As you reach to grab the banister and you pull and push it with all your might.
I realise it's metal.
Yes, it's so old and decayed that it's actually just completely made of rust, and you fall straight through the banister and land on top of the squidoo. And you are also electrified. I'm going to send you this over.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. There it is.
Norman. You've come through to security defense. How can we help?
Yeah, the giant octopus thing. You've got loads of guns and shit around. I would wish you've killed me. And I'd like you to kill it for us, so before more alpha complex resources are wasted.
Oh yes, sorry, yes, that sounds like an emergency. Just send me over your requisition order number, please.
Leslie, can Leslie hear that, or is it on speaker?
That's straight through to
Oh.
I'm
Norman's.
just gonna yell. He wants a requisition. Any
Leslie's gonna use her megaphone because she's so far away. You see, or they're so far away. Excuse me, and shout back TK421 using their bluff skill.
can they hear that?
Well,
Did you say using the megaphone?
I shouted it with my megaphone.
Okay.
I should
Yeah,
try.
I mean, is it a voice in my head, or am I speaking out loud to somebody?
But they could probably still hear everything anyway.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter
Well,
because
yeah,
you could
okay.
just relay it. I'm
Yeah.
just bluffing that
Alright,
I know our requisition
Well,
number.
do they hear that? DM?
Yeah, roll. I want you to roll to see how convincing that code
Right,
is,
hang on.
or how
That
accurate
was-
that code is. Yeah, in fact, give me brains plus bluff.
Okay, I already rolled it.
I can do brains plus bluff instead.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, that takes away all my good stuff. See, I was doing so well.
Oh, yes. Right. Oh, are you sure? Okay. Sending over killer robots. Let me just check my notepad. Yes, pre-programmed for flesh death. Right. Okay. Sending.
Great. Well,
Well, hey, listen, I've got 4 more of these, so you know.
We
Great.
nice playing with you all boys.
The Squidoo lashes out at you, Judd, and whacks you against the wall with one of its tentacles, and again electrifying you. Yeah. Send over this.
Is this card meant to have something on it? Because I don't.
So mutation cards. Some of them may be blank, some of them may not. Some of them. So some of you may have latent mutant abilities that have just been activated, or some of you may not.
Oh.
But having being a mutant is treasonous and will likely lead to your death.
Oh. Okay.
Solomon, Yago.
Wait, do you mean Solomon this time?
Yes.
Me? Okay, me.
So I'm just keeping you on your toes.
Okay. Where was I? I'd fallen through the stairs, and I'm now.
You're You landed on top of him, on top of the Squidoo.
Okay. Great. Does he have any wiring visible?
I don't know.
From
You
where
tell
I
me. Have a roll for it. See what you can see.
I have to. I have to actually investigate it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be using my brains.
Yep.
Flesh.
And what? Shut up. You're cutting out anyway. I can't hear what you're saying. Brains and. I
Engineering.
mean, technically, I was gonna say it will be engineer, which is bad for me. So,
Can't seem to move it out.
Judd keeps disconnecting.
What are you saying, Judd?
You to attack them or roll.
No idea
Or
what
roll
he's
to
saying. I disconnected him. See if he comes back. I like being the server manager because, like, no, disconnect. Hello. Oh no, he's still gone. Or am I gone? Hello.
Hello. No, I can still hear you.
Okay, I'm here. Okay, I couldn't hear anybody else for a second. Alex, are you there?
Hi, hello, I'm here.
Okay.
When you roll to attack them on.
Oh, you've just come back in, Judd. We couldn't hear you. What are you saying?
You're here now.
We can hear you now.
Right, okay. Flesh wound, they lose a limb if you roll to attack them or something.
Oh,
Oh my god.
wait, for me?
Yeah, I can use it on the thing if you are rolling to.
Oh, as a reaction? Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
okay. Well, maybe instead of trying to find its wires, I mean, what? Yeah, can I grab one of its arms?
Yeah, you can grab one of its tentacles. What are you going to do?
I want to rip a fucking arm off.
All right, go for it. What are you going to roll to do?
Against violence and melee.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so I'm attacking. I don't know what Judd had to do for that, or if that matters anymore, but because I don't know. But
I didn't hear it. Just rip that.
Judd,
fucker
you can let
off.
me know. 2 successes.
Okay, yeah. So you give that tentacle a good tug, and you can feel the electricity going through your body. And yeah, it's hanging on by a thread, but yeah, one of those tentacles has nearly come off.
Oh. Sorry, Judd, did I ruin your reaction? I forgot what you said immediately after you said it. Also, he's gone.
Alex, your go.
My go.
Leslie's go.
Leslie's go. Right. Leslie is going to can I just delete the thing? Leslie's going to discard a card.
Okay.
In order to hang on. I think I need to delete that. There we go. I had too many cards. I apologize. Right. Leslie's going to delete a card in order to take +1 in a roll. And Leslie is just going to use the end of their mop handle, which is wooden and thus does not conduct electricity very well, to slice through the wires or to break the wires which separate the tentacle from the body. And so I assume that's going to be violence plus melee.
Yep.
Great. Well, that's only +1, so probably not the best idea, but here we go. Great.
Your map snaps. Your mop snaps.
Shit. Do I still have the right? I don't know if I can. Is that a? Hang on. Is that a? So I'd like to. Can I use a reaction card now?
Yeah.
All right. I use the reaction card Mistaken Identity.
Oh.
As far as everyone, including the computer, is concerned, I did not perform that action. Someone else did. And I blame Solomon.
Okay.
Well, when the time comes, I can provide a more convincing explanation to make care. But otherwise, I choose to pin it on Solomon.
Yeah.
And also, this is a 10-minute warning from you guys.
Oh right. Okay. We're nearly done here. So Solomon, no, Norman, you're up next. Looks like we've.
I will. Did you say the limb came off?
Yeah, one of the limbs. Well, it's hanging on by a thread.
Right. Well, I will shoot my grappling hook into it.
Ooh. Okay, go for it.
Using my knowledge of engineering and mechanics, because I'm looking into the mechanics of the machine and thinking how can I do the most damage with as an engineer.
Yeah. I'll go on. I'm convinced.
Should I get more cards automatically?
No, I have just forgotten to deal them to you.
No, that's fine.
Did I roll something that I don't think I rolled anything? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's enough to take out those final strands of its tentacle. So yeah, that comes flying off and sinks below, and the squidoo starts to react violently, and the plug is starting to come loose because it's still holding on with one of its tentacles. It's just got one tentacle remaining, flailing about, and it whacks that towards Solomon, taking you up to the injured level. Josh? Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Yeah, Josh, your character's the squid lashed out at you, and you're now injured.
Oh, that was at me. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Solomon is just such a generic name in this.
Poor Solomon.
But it is Solomon's go now.
Oh, okay. Well, does it have eyes? Does it have robot eyes?
It's got one large one on the top of its head, you see.
I would like to hop from where I am up onto his head and poke him in the fucking eye.
Do it. How are you going to do it?
With a great cartwheel. No, not a cartwheel. That wouldn't get me there. Flip. Flip up onto the top of him and literally just punch down with one finger and go wha in the eye. I don't know what skills I need for that.
You're going to poke a metal robot in the eye.
I didn't think about that until you said it like that.
So violence and
I don't know. Nothing's gonna help me with this.
violence and melee.
Yeah, sure.
Do it.
Uh,
You're
hold
pretty
on,
good at
hold
that
on.
actually. You got 8.
3.
3. Oh yeah. So miraculously, your finger does break, jamming this. So you're now, in fact, your whole hand breaks. You're now maimed. Your right hand,
Haha.
but it does smash its eye,
Yay!
and again it violently reacts to that, and now the plug is almost completely out. And it is Leslie's go.
I don't think Leslie can intimidate a plug, so I could be wrong. Okay, so let's have a little check. Okay, Leslie is going to. What do they have available to them? The tentacle. Leslie is going to play a card, and in so doing, is going to take the tentacle that's been removed from the body.
Yep.
And is going to use it like an Indiana Jones style whip to whip the plug out of the port, or the plug with the drain. That's the word I want.
Okay.
I choose to play the card Great Victory. Everything goes right, above and beyond even the greatest expectations, for a few seconds at least.
Oh,
GM
right.
describes how.
Yeah. So you, even though knowing what Indiana Jones would be knowledge prior to Alva Complex and the event that led to the human
I never said
race.
it though, so only,
Yes.
Only
Yes. So maybe it's some kind of memory that's been passed.
It's just a pure brainwave.
But
it's a moment of inspiration.
You adjust a hat, your helmet, bucket that's on your head, just like Indy would, and you whip this thing. It pierces straight through the liquid, not only grabbing the plug, but knocking the other tentacle out of the way, and with a power and strength that will likely, I'm sure, be mistaken for some kind of mutant commie treasonous act. You pull the plug out, destroying the squidoo, and the liquid rapidly starts to get sucked down into the thing. You have saved the day. And as you go to high five each other, the last thing you see are the flesh bots programmed to kill any flesh in the room, come flying into the room and shred you all to pieces. The next thing you know, you are in a room that says debriefing room in large letters on the wall, and in front of you is a moon-faced balding clone called Vernon YHYT2.
Did I gain my level and my XP and my security clearance before or after I died?
Say again, sorry?
Did I gain my XP and my security clearance before or after I died?
That will. Is that a question to Vernon?
No, well, it depends. In one of them I'm dead, in one of them I'm not.
Vernon explains that all XP will be awarded accordingly after the debrief to see how well the mission went. You see your fellow clones from the mission next to you, and also Roz is there. The debriefing officer explains he will be asking you a few questions that you need to answer to the best of your knowledge. He begins, explain the reasons for your appropriation and misuse of sector high tables, benches, barrels and mops, please, Norman.
Just one of those things. I've come back from a fucked up place.
And he just one of those things of a fucked up place. He writes that down. Looking at you, Leslie, you are responsible for the destruction of a valuable Squidoo unit maintenance bot. Can you explain your actions?
All of my actions were in service to friend computer and in compliance with
Compliance with what you cut out there.
compliance with orders.
And whose orders may that have been?
The glory of friend computer.
Okay, the glory.
And one Roz, and I point accusingly at Roz.
Roz.
We were under strict compliance only to follow Roz's orders. No actions that we took were in deviation from friend computer's master order.
Roz says she would like it to be stated on the record that at no time did she tell you to destroy the Squidoo unit maintenance robot.
Leslie would like to bluff with... I feel like I can't justify a megaphone in this, so I won't. But Leslie would like to bluff and say, I interpreted your shrieks for help and your order to, and I quote, kill it, kill it, kill it, as authorization thereof.
Okay, roll for it. You just get a raised eyebrow from the debriefing officer who makes several notes and says, your comments will be passed on to the computer. He looks at Solomon.
Hello.
How did you get past the rogue clone known as Infrared Beard?
Well, the computer really took care of that. He fell out of the complex. He tripped and fell.
And he
disappeared.
He turns over a page. Yes, that does. Good to hear you telling the truth there. Very good. And at you again, Solomon. Are there any clones you would like to report to the computer as possible enemies of Alpha Complex?
Wait, who was that addressed to?
That's to you, Solomon.
Oh, to me?
Yes.
I mean, I think Roz was doing her best to undermine us all. I know she's above my rank, but I am worried that she may be traitorous.
Oh, interesting. Anything to say about that, Roz? And Roz explains as your commanding officers, they disobeyed me at all times, were disrespectful and at times very rude. And all this is noted. At any point, did any clone try to recruit you into a secret society? And he looks at all three of you for this.
Yes, Roz. She I didn't know what she was talking about, but she just kept asking me about secret organizations and trying to something about not liking the computer. I mean, I didn't even understand the concept, to be honest.
Vernon, and Leslie raises her hand. Vernon.
Yes.
Who is Karl Marx?
yeah. Roz was telling us about this Marx.
She had
man.
some strange words. One of them I didn't quite understand. I think it was she really liked linens. Was it linens?
And we were all talking about what we're going to do with our XP, and she said something about redistributing the wealth. And
each according to their work, each according to their need. That's what she said.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what communism is, but if communism was something, that must be it.
He's scribbling all this down, but as the word communism, the computer's screen and his eyeball that he watches you all with appears. Did you say communist?
Yeah, Roz. Yes, that one over there.
I made no such accusation. I was merely questioning words that Roz used.
Yes, I also was doing the same. I do not know, but I would have said that Roz.
Okay, roll. Give me a roll to see how convincing all that was to the computer.
I'll assist
you
you
wanna do it?
in your, or
Oh,
I
okay.
can. I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
probably have better.
Yeah,
yeah.
you.
So okay, I'll do the same. No megaphone because again that just feels like cheating. Oh, but the computer's already here. But I got 4 successes.
Yeah. So, well, the computer symbol means either the computer appears or something terrible happens.
Oh dear.
And to be on the safe side, he kills all of you apart from Judd's character because he kept quiet throughout of that. So, but then your other, what clone are you on, Josh?
This will be 3.
3, and Alex
There's 4 for me.
and Judd, you're on 5.
I'm on 6.
He didn't kill you then.
You didn't die there.
No, I was already on 6.
All right, so
Oh.
you're on your final clone, but he welcome back Solomon and Leslie, fresh clones, all is forgiven. Clearly not communist, treasonous mutants. I feel you've done.
Me, Frank Computer?
Yes. Who's that?
I believe these two are keeping secrets from you. When I was touched by the squid monster, I believe a mutation was caused, and I'd like to self-report myself for that. These two, by keeping that information a secret, are working against the good of Alpha Complex.
Point of order, this clone is clearly trying to unnecessarily waste your time and resources because if that happened, it was 2 clones ago and all is forgiven.
That is very, very true. Please tell me about your mutation, please. Norman, we have a difficult relationship with mutants here. Normally we would kill them, but there are ways of registering your mutation.
Oh, I can turn things to ice. I have cryokinesis.
I'm sure this could be of use to Alpha Complex. We will send you for mutation registration.
I just wanted to make sure I was not in breach of any of Alpha Complex's regulations, policies, and procedures. And self-reporting is good.
Yes, you will be rewarded. You will all receive 150 XP points, taking you to red level troubleshooters. Disposing of the rogue clone infrared beard. Completing the mission to pull the plug and empty the red dessert topping, and discovering Roz as a treasonous communist. Well done, troubleshooters.
Yay!
You are now red clearance. End of
Yay!
game. Yay. End of game.
Yay! Thank you. That was fun.
Was it?
Yeah, I enjoyed
I think I need to read the rule books a bit more, but
it's all right.
No, it was good fun. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like a pretty fun game. There's all sorts of secret societies that you end up joining or encouraged to join, and all sorts of more backstabbing going on and things like that. So.
Well, Roz is a bitch. Whatever happened.
Yeah.
Roz.
I think I need to read some more advice around. Maybe I'm not witty enough to be the computer. When I've read the scenarios and stuff like that, the guys who write them have just got such funny things that they get the computer to do. But I was.
Well,
I'm sure that comes with time.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, learning the nuances, what works and what doesn't.
I forgot to get you to mark off Moxie as well, so that's kind of your measure of how well you're holding it together. And every time you roll a computer symbol, that's because everyone gets really nervous when the computer comes. You knock one off, and then eventually you just flip out and lose it.
Just lose my mind.
I'm pretty sure Solomon would have had no moxie.
Yeah.
He was
I
a
think
wreck.
I lost my moxie constantly.
Yeah.
Full moxie. All right, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. But thank you, Adam, for doing
That's
this.
all right.
Good fun.
That's all right.
And we're
Thank
back
you.
to normal next week, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
doing good.
All right,
Yep,
everyone.
back to D&D next week then.
All right.
Glad you
Okie
enjoyed
dokie.
it.
Thanks again, Adam.
That's all right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.